Hello guys, I am back again. As you can see, I've sort of finished, painting everything and putting the glue and everything on the house. So I'm at the moment fiddling around with some laces for the fence. Remember this one that I was talking to you about the other day, and I thought I'll have that one on there, and I went into my little stash of bits and pieces. So I was thinking of just getting a bit of glue, gluing it down, and then stitching that down. And I'm going to put that up there. Actually, I might have it so it goes right on the edge. Did I have it like that? No, I had it lower. Have that on the edge. There we go. It just sort of lends itself to a fence. And then get a bit of this glue over the top of that. And this is very unusual. I might, just while this stuff dries clear, thank goodness. Have that on there, going down on that. This part can go on there, and it sort of looks like it's a bit of a climbing rose. It's unusual, but it's using two elements to get the one effect. Ugh, there goes that blue. Okay, I really do hope it does dry and I don't see it. Okay, so I'll do the same with this one. Okay, we're going to put it there, and then maybe a little bit on top. I also zigzag down here so that it wouldn't fray on me, because it was doing that. Okay, go along there. So this glue is just going to be on there until I stitch it down. Tiny little bite. So you can sort of see the stuff underneath it a little bit, but I don't mind. It still gives it that fence look. I had a different one for here, but I think it sort of looks a bit more like the actual fence. So that's going to go on the top, and we'll leave it down, and we're going to stitch that fence. So I wanted them to have an individual look. I still will do the crosses on this, but I'm just going to make this. This is really pretty, this lace. It's a little bit bigger than what it should be, but that's okay. Actually, I might trim off just a little tittle bit. What kind of word tittle is? Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to do thing along there. Is that the right way? You just don't know, do you? Actually, I might do it that way, so it's got the two leaves going on the inside. There we go. Pretty. And then I need to get this little bit here, because I've just done a running stitch along there, and that's enough to sit on top of that. I've stitched that, and now, no, I haven't stitched that, I've just put it down, and here's this lace here, which I'm going to, I thought I'll still paint the roof line blue, and that way you can see it. Okay, we're going to now go down, go up as far as I can go. Now I might start it there. Oh, some dog's barking at someone mowing, I think. Not liking it. Too loud, too loud. Okay. And that will be the fretwork. So cute. There we go. It just misses that part. So I need to come back in with some, that's a little bit dirty there. Ah, well, roofs are dirty. Looks like something from a wedding cake. Like so lacy. Now, do I do some fretwork along here on each of those or not? I do like it. It's a really nice. Maybe on that one it can go up, and on that one it can go down. I might do that later because I'm going to have to stitch it all down. Now, where did I put my little needle? I think I put it, here we go. Here we go. So, I'm going to try and stick within the parameters. Oh, it's pretty. Pretty. And I'm going to use, if I use this one, I think it'll cover all of them. I love the vintage cotton. It's great. Nice and strong. Originally had this for here, but I thought no, I wanted it to be, it is a different fence, and so I wanted it to be different, but this isn't that pretty? It's real sort of vintagey, quite vintage lace. I do like it. Okay. And I'm not going to do too much here because I was thinking for the pin cushion, if we get the pin cushion and we put them all the way down, we can get multicoloured pins and they can be like the flowers, which I think might be a bad idea. Okay, don't want to do too much because it just ends up gathering. Hopefully that glue will hold it in place. And I better check that I'm all in camera. I am. And we can do a little bit of lace stitching. Quite dainty, this lace, but I've got all types in my little stash. So put that away. Got to learn to put things away. Terrible. And then what I'm going to do after the lace has been stitched on, I'm going to go around here and around the roof, which is what I did. See, look how different that is. Which is what I did. I did it with wool, and I think it's quite good. Either I'll do a wool or a thicker, what do you call it? You know, the thicker DMC stuff. Where is it? In that blue. got it around here somewhere. The Wonderfill, the main blue that I use. Okay, well, I think these aren't too bad. I better do these first. Okay, we are just going to stitch these down. Just so they don't go anywhere. Yeah, I was watching this morning Corinne working on hers, and I'm like, yeah, I really need to get into my studio and work on it. I've been quite busy getting the house ready for sale. We've got a house that we are interested in, and we have put in an offer, but it's subject to the sale of our house. And unfortunately, there is also somebody else interested in this house. Of course there is. And theirs is just subject to finance, not subject to sale. So, yeah, we put in a higher bid in hopes to get it. And if not, oh well, so be it. I'm like, this is... you know, we've got a cut-off, and you've got to stick to it, even though as much as you love the house, you've got to stick to your cut-off number of what you're willing to pay, because we've still got to sell our house. And I wanted to sell this house and pretty much get the other house for the similar price. So even though this house is, we've done a lot, and it's pretty much finished, a few little bits and pieces that needs to get done. And the new house is, well, if we get it, it's just got more rooms. It's got 4 bedrooms, and this has got 2 bedrooms and a bungalow. So we just need the extra space. So, but, you know, the bathrooms need doing, and, you know, it needs a little bit of work. So even though it's a bigger house, it's needing work, whereas this one is pretty much finished with a new kitchen and ensuite, blah, blah, blah. So, but because it is, you know, 2 bedroom and a studio, it's actually worth a little bit less. But because it's finished, it makes it worth about the same price as what this other house was, because it needs renovating. So, but it's a really nice house. It's really my style. You know, this house is 1967, whereas the one that we're looking at is a 1960. Yeah, it has really good potential, and it's got a nice shed for Brad, my hubby. This house did have a shed, but it leaked really badly and wrecked a lot of his stuff. So, yeah, and I want to know that, you know, the next house is going to be the last one. I'm over moving. Cannot be bothered moving anymore. Okay, did we go along there? We did. I might do one more stitch here just to finish it off. So here's hoping, hey, just going to cut across. Here's hoping your agent, you know, we went back with a counter offer, and I said, look, you know, if these people would be interested in looking at our house, it'd be a win-win for you. They could probably buy our house, and we could buy that one, and everyone's happy. Because we're not moving out of the Sebastopol area. We're staying in the same area. Just having a tad more room so that I can have space for, you know, if my son needs to move home, which I've got a big feeling that he needs to, and if he does in this house, it means I'm going to be kicked out of here again, which is not ideal. Well, I hope you're not seeing my hair noticed in the videos that you're seeing a lot of my hair. So, yeah. Yeah, so well, I'll keep you updated. So that was this morning that we heard that they had put in an offer, and so it just remains to be seen. And I'm a big believer of, well, if it's not meant to be, even though you have your heart set on it, and it would be ideal, and it's got everything on the wish list, because we got solar panels here, and that just makes such a difference to the electricity bill, that's for sure. If this house had one more room, we'd probably stay, but it just doesn't. So, and this other house that we're interested in had solar panels, and it was actually a 4-bedroom and a study. So that means I would get my studio, I'd have a spare guest room, my son who's living at home would have his room, and my husband would even have a little library and music room. Like, it's only a real tiny little room, but he says he really loved it. He said, oh, well, at least it's, it's something, because I said, you got that and the shed, so you'll have a fair bit of extra room. So, yeah. So, like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You can just, if we don't get it, who knows what we have been avoiding, you just don't know. So, okay, now we're going to go up here. It's so cute. Really does look like a very European house now. Okay. With all this cute little fretwork. It's amazing what having lace and all that kind of stuff on there will do. I've got this particular lace, that one and that one. I got that from Diane. Hi, Diane, who I had a visit from after, like, her brother lives in Sebastopol, and she was here for the retreat, and she was here until Easter. And the day before, I think it was a Thursday, before the Easter weekend, she gave me a buzz and come over, and we had some lunch and yapping. It was nice. It was nice to catch up with her. All the ladies from the retreat are just lovely. And I've already got a name on my list for next year for the retreat. One of the ladies couldn't make it, and I just contacted her and said, do you want to use the funds? Or, like, this was before, like, earlier on. Because I hadn't got around to, rather than refund, because it was so close to the date, maybe if she wanted to transfer her funds over and have it as a deposit. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a different policies. Like last time I didn't put in, I really thought, I could tell it was my first retreat. I didn't put any policies in for, what happens if people cancel and all that, because the money's invested already into it when it's at a really later stage. So I'm going to have $100 non-refundable deposit. So that's for you to get your name on the list, but you got to think about whether you really want to come or not, because if you pull out, you don't get that back. And then 2 payments in October and in February of $250. I think that works a bit easier on people's pocketbook. And I'll send out invoices for those days, but I mean, I'll put the date on there, and so at least you've got your name on the list for the deposit. So that's how to work. And then what else I've got put in place? Oh, if you cancel 3 weeks prior, you know, you don't get a refund. If you cancel earlier, yeah, mate, you do get, you know, some of the money back. So yeah, don't really like that part of running business, but you just need to do it to cover yourself, because at that stage the money is invested in the venue and the, you know, the food and the panels and whatnot. So it just makes it really difficult to refund the whole lot. So okay, now, but I've I don't know whether I said it in the previous video or not, but I've contacted the people that make the panels for me and sent them my files, and they're in the process of, you know, working it out so they can screen print it. So it's all happening, and once that is done, I'll show you the panel, and that's when I will announce you know, deposits and people putting their name down, which will probably be at the end of April. But you've got the dates, so the 3rd to the 6th of March. I suppose I better finish up pushing me luck. Yeah, so you can arrange, at least know when it is happening, and work out leave. Such a fun retreat. I really enjoyed it. It was so good, hanging around like-minded people and actually seeing, you know, face-to-face subbies that I've been talking with over in the comments and have gotten to know, and you actually put a name to a face, which is always nice. Now, it doesn't matter if I've got a long bit, because I've got to do the fence. So what I'm going to do with some of the others, what I might do is, since the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery is wanting to do a bag, I was thinking, I stitched the top of this end as well. Where are we? Turn it around. I'm turning this into a bag, so I might, you know, paint that up and do, you know, make it look all pretty, and I'm going to put some fabric around the outside and then use the backing, this part, because remember I had enough, it stopped about there, I think, something like that, and so I had enough that I can have the backing for the bag. I think it might have been there, unless it was the other, no, it was the other way around. Here we go. I knew that that's it. There. So I will have to unpick that, because I don't want to wreck the fabric, and that'll be the back of the bag, and then I might use some of these panels to do the front of it. So that'll be part of my Roxy's. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to make a bag anyway. I might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So that's such a horrible saying, isn't it? Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Terrible. Poor little birdies. Okay. Push this down. Now where are we at? Here we are. So there you go. All the exciting stuff that's been going on, which it does keep you busy. Karina's experiencing the same thing. Moving and buying and selling is the pit. Oh, so yeah, it all depends. We're still umming and ahhing because at the moment there are some houses that, you know, if we don't get this one, that we could possibly go for, but it needs to be the right one. Yeah, that house that we're looking at had ticked off everything off the wish list, so you know, who knows. Okay, oop. Okay, I'm doubling back. Am I stitching over what I've already stitched over? Well, that's clever. Not. And I've stitched here. Okay, double back. You're probably all yelling at the screen, you've already done that. Oh, well, you can never have enough stitching. How far did I get? There we go. There we go. That's what happens when you're busy gas bagging and talking away. You get distracted. So, yeah, so my back has improved quite a bit, but I'm definitely costing me a fortune going to the chiropractor. But oh well, it's worked. Gone from not being able to walk to, over the Easter weekend, I was outside painting bits and pieces on the house. I didn't do a great deal of bending because it was I don't know what you call them, on the outer part of the house. Well, here, this part here, there we go. All around our house has got these little ledges, and we'd started painting it. I bought this paint when we refinanced about 3 years ago, and got the concrete and just to finish things off. Yeah, so it's been sitting there, and I did the old, okay, we're going to use this colour and that colour, and it's been sitting there for 3 years looking, half in one colour and half the other, and then the original colour in the middle. I said, look, if we're going to sell this house, we need to finish it. So it was just perfect timing that we had all that time over the Easter weekend to get stuck into the house and finish. Okay, see how easy this is to sew? When you look, it's not brilliant sewing. It's just grab and stitch, and the secret is grabbing a fine enough thread that's strong. That's why I like the old stuff. And making sure it's a good colour match so that you don't see it. Yeah, like even here, it's not real brilliant stitching. You'd be a bit more fussier if you're going to be, when you're doing the front of the house or decorative stitches. This is just stick down stitches. So that's pretty. So you'll notice too, when I do the next video, when I start stitching, if I do it beforehand or whatever, and you start stitching these bits, it really brings it out. So I'm just going to have a look where we are for time. What I might do is just do almost like a running stitch, because it's just got to catch it really on the bottom. How we going? 29 minutes. We've still got plenty of time, people. So it's almost a bit like what's that stitch that we do when we of putting things down, just catching it. Mental blank. Well, you know what I mean when you're putting fabrics down. And it's like the invisible, that's the invisible stitch, but I'm actually doing it a little bit thicker so that I can catch stuff. Make sure that it stays down. So I'm catching little bits here and there. And this will come to life too once we do the a little bit more of the stitching, like on the edges and the gate. So sort of like a white picket fence with a difference, this one. Okay. June. Yeah, so it's funny watching Corinne this morning, and I thought, oh, you know, get inspired. Okay, well, I better do it. Get stuck into it. So once I've finished this thread, I might get out the what do you call it, the wool, and I'll show you how having, you know, going around it makes such a difference, because this is sort of like glued down and I can do this in the background. Yeah, just I might do it on that one because I think it needs to be standing out. I figured if I stitch on the top of the flower and then I come back and do the top, that way I can be lined up for there. I really like it. I like that it's a little bit different, a little bit unusual. So I'm going to have to come back with wool, I think, something a little thicker to make sure that it stays down. Okay. I don't think I need to put those little, they can just sort of sit there. I think it looks all right as is. Gives it a bit of, you know, dimension. As long as it's, the base of it's going to be held down. That through there. Okay. And then go underneath. I do like to do the bottom, I think. Move that out of the way. Just to make sure that it's staying down. Oh, my head in the way again. I'm sorry, guys. You probably can see that I'm in need of another hair dye. Okay. It definitely softens it. It's a different meaning to a white picket fence, isn't it? Okay, what I could probably do is I'll just leave that there and I'll come back to that, and I'm going to get the wool. Let's look. It's probably a bit too, yeah, see, that's a good colour. this would be a good colour for that, but it's so thick. I'm thinking, no, might be that one. I'm thinking if you have got these big, you know, the thicker walls, I probably could couch it down. I think that might work. Maybe I might do that, but I think that is a really good colour. And then where's it go? The lighter blue, but I want to do it around the windows too, so I may couch that around there and then have that as the windows. Have that, might even go along there. Just, I think it needs something. So put that up here. And okay. So I'm just going to do, what did I do on that one? Was it a back stitch or a stem stitch? I think it was a back stitch. So a little bit thinner. So what I'm going to do, actually, you know what, I think a stem stitch might work because it's just a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to, I've got a chenille needle and I'm going to do a stem stitch along here. I like stem stitch because it works really fast. And that way if you've got any of the lines, it's okay because it's, you know, you're highlighting it and sort of hiding the lines underneath. But yeah, I think that makes a difference. I like that. I do. Whereas I think around the windows and everything, I will use a different stitch. Okay. And I might go around the chimney while I'm there with the smoke. I might go lighter or just leave it. I think I did stitch it in the other one, but I don't think, because it's sort of like a grey colour, I think it's actually not a bad colour. And it sort of blends it into, because it's flat, it blends it into the background. I think it would work okay to not stitch. Okay, we're going to go back up and then I'm going to do a back stitch for around the chimney. Okay, then I'll go around here. Catch it. There we go. And then I can start. I might go here. And I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do a bit of a back stitch. I think having it thicker over the roof is not a bad thing, but I think it needs to be a little bit thinner around the house. Especially if you wanted to, you could probably do a stem stitch around the sides of the houses, but you definitely need to do a back stitch on the windows because you don't want it too thick. I'm just wondering, is that thick enough? Yeah, probably could do a stem stitch, but this is okay. It depends how thick your wool is. Okay. What I like about wool, it's very forgiving. Doing dark on dark always works well. So I will use this colour to go around the house and possibly around the door and maybe even around the windows. So I might do a stem stitch here and on there to make it a little thicker. Or come in with you know, maybe a wonder fill because it's already been painted. Yeah, sort of all depends whether you want it to sit back or move it forward is the type of stitch that you do. I reckon I could probably make it to the end and we have to get some more. I always push my boundaries when it comes to this stuff. Oh, that looks really sweet. I like it. So there you go. So I'll be working on this part as well as that other part. I might, this one here, I might do the painting in the background because you've seen me do that and get it ready. And then I'm going to do a little bit more, a bit later. So that'll be part of my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. Okay, we can do it, we can do it. There we go. Just managed it. You're all probably just like me. Okay, to see if you can do it. Okay. Now, I think it's time for a bit of morning tea and to get this video up because I'm a little bit late with it, so I apologise for that. But have been busy cleaning my house and getting it ready for possible sale if we get this other house. So, yeah, I might get a little more and finish that off. So there you go, guys. Oh, it's so pretty. I just love it. And that really does remind me of, like, even though like this is a lace and it's got a little bit dirty in places, I don't mind. Roofs are dirty. It's just how it is, you know. So yeah. Okay, do another knot. Have a look where we are for time. And so what I'm going to do after I finish stitching the lace down, I'm probably going to come in with either a white on this one, maybe a cream, and you know, I think I will still like to do the crosses. That's just the wire or whatever it is in the, you know, in the lace curtaining. So okay, guys, well, yep, 44 minutes. I think it's time to move on, and I'll catch you in the next video, which will either be doing actually it might be starting this because I can incorporate that with the journal stitchery. But you can see how much better it looks once it's got a little bit of a highlight, and you can just imagine what that's going to look like too. May have some fretwork on here and here. Yeah, enhance it with just little pretties and basic stitching around it. So very different to what Corinne is doing, but that's the whole point. Okay guys, thank you very much. I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.